Welcome back to the Just Three Gents review here with two cats from a random place.
Hello! We are cats from a show that got canceled, but we're funny.
We are quite. We are happy to welcome you here to our review of AEW Dynamite from the 29th of May to 2024. It is the Professor John. It is me, JVL, also John. We are sans Mikey tonight because Mikey is at the Collision tapings. So he's seeing into the future right now. And we do miss him.
Yeah, he borderline knows how some of this Dynamite unfolds live.
Just kind of. And he's also watching ROH for me as well at the same time, which is always great because that'll be 2 weeks down the road in the future, which will be so much fun.
Is he in the crowd at Collision watching ROH?
I'm assuming so, yes.
Wow.
He's catching up behind.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
And that's why we're here with you on a Thursday discussing what happened on a Wednesday. We're going to go through match by match, give you our opinions on what happened here, talk about some storyline stuff while we're feeling. The Professor and I also like to riff a lot on performance-wise and things that kind of give us a bit of thing. I'm going to keep fixing these because I'm wearing a hat, and the hat makes me intelligent. But we're going to give that to you all the way. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the craziness, because with the two of us, it becomes Tangent, the podcast, instead of Just Three Gents.
A little off track, but
a little bit. But if you're first new here or always have been here, we are so happy to have you back here. Remember, you're going to be subscribing to our channel, hitting that alert bell to get all of our notifications. Make sure you're subscribed to all of our socials so you can get all the updates there, because we have a lot of new stuff coming out that were interviews at the con we did. Really great stuff there. Zoe Sky is the newest that just came out here. She is, if you have not seen her on the indies, she's done a couple of stints in ROH and AEW as a jobber, but she is the sweetest person in the world. 17-year vet. Go out and watch that there. Our own Jesse from the ROH podcast got to talk to her and basically go through her entire career. That's and is still DMing her on IM right now and getting to see that she might be coming up to the area soon, so we probably have to see her. So all those great things can happen there. Also, we had a live watch-along recently, which is just up on the channel now, of Double or Nothing, where we talked about what we thought about that, had some great engagement in the chat. Join us on those so you can chat with us, because we'll definitely mostly agree with you. And we have a merch store at Patreon. So that's about all of the housekeeping I have to do. I'm going to put this down here, and that's not going to work. I don't know what I'm doing here. I might just take the hat off.
Do you know how hats work?
No, hair and hat don't work together, because hair is long, hat is big.
Hair, hat, ears. Hair, hat, ears.
Yeah.
Hair, ears. Hat,
so glad
ears,
I'm editing this thing.
Head. Now you look like Rabbi DJ.
Butcher.
Meet this Yahoo. That guy's amazing.
Anyhow.
All right. See, tangent already saying things
already. Super tangent. But we're going to jump in. I got to stop that. We're going to jump in first. You know, the funny part is the way we're talking about this and the way we're kind of opening this in the kind of a lackadaisical way reflects what happened on AEW, because this celebration of the TBS Championship was a last-minute addition, because there's been things all over the news this week about Tony Khan like changing stuff by the minute, becoming 2019 WWE. This is the perfect example.
Yeah, I was going to say, I read a little bit about that there's a lot of decisions being made on the fly. I get it with injuries, I get it with timing, I get it with people, and we've talked about that here consistently. But not meddling, but the last few Dynamites and AEW shows, you could tell that there's producing going on. Things are happening, and the performers are either with it or catching up or a step behind. It's been interesting.
It's watching the former WWE folks, like the faces they make when they're like, oh no, I'm back where I started. Like you can tell when they're starting to feel it too, and it's not great.
Yeah.
This Dynamite got a bit better, but I'm hoping that as we've asked for this, Tony will start to delegate some stuff on certain shows, so he's not booking, all the shows at once, and he can book the ones he's focused on and storytell a bit, because we need more of that right now.
And not to go full tangent, because we got to get into this. I wonder if Tony Khan was so hands-off in the beginning, because rightfully so, he was like, hey, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Chris Jericho, everyone who's in charge and knows this thing's great, I want to be behind the scenes. I think I would wonder, and part of my impulse and instinct is, hey, Tony, we need a little more help for these reasons. Can we use you as a story arc? Can we plug you into this? I wonder if they approached him first to be like, hey, can you help us with some of XYZ type stuff? As opposed to just, I'm the owner of the team, I'm going to hang out over here, like other NFL owners tend to do and other stuff like that.
Well, there was also the fact they only had 2 hours of wrestling to book. Now it's almost, with ROH, almost 7 to 8 per week. So
right.
and a talent to book as well. And to bring in free agents like Mercedes Moné, who is now booked into basically throw all of your plans off because they're taking over your title. She comes out to celebrate the fact that she has now become the TBS champion. She's now doing her promo back in that babyface format, even though she went heel for the last bit. I was a bit confused by that. I don't know about you, where I'm getting a little whiplash back and forth.
The crowd didn't know whether to boo or cheer for Mercedes Moné.
Right.
She walked her through the belt up, and there was like half boo, half yay, and half question mark. Yeah, moment. And then she kind of started talking because she was feeling that from the crowd. I don't know, and you and I have talked about this here too. I don't think they want her as face, absolutely, since she got here, since she cut that one. Oh, I want to be careful. I don't want to say anything offensive. In my opinion, she's been having a hard time getting the promos under her feet. And the first one or two or even three she cut, that one live in Boston, and the next few, she had a lot of momentum. And then, like we talked about, there were all these filmed ones that just kind of undercut
Said the same thing.
Said the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about it in a second. Our instinct was correct, by the way, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This was a rough one. She's been having a hard time on the mic, but she's still good on the mic. So it's just trying to get her bearings, I think.
She's now into the first week of having to deal with the crowd more often. She's trying to set the tone as the champion, but also you're celebrating yourself, and most babyfaces don't have a celebration for when they win a title. So it's like you're riding that weird line, which is just, it confuses people at this point because we want you to pick a side, but she has to go face because of what happens next as she's interrupted by Sky Blue, who has been the machinations of all of this around her, attacking her in the dark, setting up this stuff when Julia still had the title. It was all Sky Blue, which seems like this was a last-minute fill-in for Julia Hart, but I'm just saying that off the top of my head.
We talked about this when this promo came out. We're going, hey, this is ambiguous for a reason, because eventually they'll have to plug somebody in, and it could basically be anybody.
Yeah.
And along comes the Sky Blue. Like, I relived the whole conversation we had as I watched that replay. Like, oh, that's right. We talked about the plug-and-play aspect of this. Like,
which is good and bad, but at the same time, if you're rushing it with a plug-and-play, that's even worse.
No, I agree. And I think what's hard for that promo is that it is vague and ambiguous because they had to make it vague and ambiguous.
They didn't have to. They just wanted to.
They just wanted to, I guess. But it just felt hollow on the performer's side because even they knew, we don't know what it's going to be. We're going to find out later. Okay, I'm going to act like I don't know what's going to happen. And then when you do stuff like that, it's rough.
But Sky Blue comes out after a taped package, attacks Mercedes, says that I'm next in line for that title. We get written down here that it's going to happen tonight. So apparently this didn't need to happen on this Dynamite. This could have happened before. But no, we're getting another women's section tonight. I guess Mercedes is in both parts of the women's section tonight for all that to do, which is kind of sad, but also good. And we know Sky Blue's not winning because Mercedes is not losing that title yet. So
yeah, I'm just happy to see Sky Blue.
Oh, same.
Friend of the podcast. Sky Blue's our friend. Can I say Sky Blue's our friend?
She said hi to us, yes. She denied El Buntador Numero Dos in an interview.
That's fair.
Mostly because AEW is very protective of their talent. So understandable, but she was very lovely. She took the monster that El Buntador brought her and was very, very loving about it. So,
it's so cool.
And El Buntador was a melty puddle after he met her. So that was wonderful. Thank you, Sky, for that. We move on then to our first match of the evening, and the champion comes out.
Yes,
this is a match against Killosaurus. Lucha Switch. Kill it with fire. Someone,
I put my mask in the microwave. It's hot. Yeah,
that sounds exactly right. Actually, this is what got me about this: is that this match should have happened before Double or Nothing. Because why is he having a match after Christian lost?
Well, it would have been interesting if we went 3 weeks of Nick Wayne, Killosaurus, and then Christian. So I don't know.
Get Mother Wayne in one.
Oh, that would have. Oh, how.
She is an Amazonian lady.
She stands taller than him.
She is taller than him.
To Swerve.
We saw her in person in New Jersey. She is tall.
Ave Maria.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. It's sort of a question mark of like, why here? And then interesting here, and then nobody else. None of the other patriarchy. Just
right. No patriarchy. Nothing else.
Killosaurus by himself. Good match. paced well, had no problems, fun to watch. I enjoy me the Killosaurus. I always have the moment where I realize, oh, you've worn all the black lipstick to do. Oh, look at you. There's just a little goth kid under that mask.
I ain't so little, but yes.
I had one thing that got me, not to jump to the end, because everything else in here was fun.
I mean, the Prince Nana coffee toss before dancing at the top of the ramp. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah. Nana coming out with the scissors, the hedge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Calling for the scissors. Swerve going over to the Killosaurus. Grabbing hair, pulling hair. But obviously pulling a piece of wig off of Killosaurus.
On the mask.
To cut the fake hair off the thing and then hold it up. And in holding it to the camera, anyone who does theater goes, that's a weave. That's wig that wasn't worked into a wig yet. That's how it looks in the package.
Well, and on top of that, also, you did the cutting directly down the barrel of the camera.
Yes.
The camera guy didn't cut away. You saw the whole thing.
And I was like, that's rough. So that
my God.
But when they did it to Swerve, they ripped out a dread. Like, Swerve ate it and went, okay, yank it. Boom! And they pulled one out. So it lost a little bit of the sparkle for me. But that's just nitpicky. It was still a great match.
It was an entertaining match. It did a lot of different things for both competitors. It showed that Swerve can basically work against anybody because this is the big monster heel, plotting a bit. I did write down though, oh look, a Nerf hold. Are we back in the late 80s again? What the hell is this?
Yeah. There's been, and I don't know if you and I talked about it. We talked about it on another show not too recently. Not too long ago. There's been a lot of 80s and 90s nods here and there.
Yeah.
Like they're backstage, like, hey, do a this, hey, throw a this out there. We had a back rake not too long ago. Like all these cool, like, oh, hey.
John Moxley does the back rake all the time. I'm waiting, honestly, for the bear hug to make a return. I think like Satnam Singh or someone's going to do it. And I'm just like, that is a terrible move.
One good bear hug and then hold it too long. Just,
yeah. Well, hold it so you're running out of steam. The feet land on the ground, then you got to pick them back up. Get it back up again.
And the arms go down, and then they come back up again. Yeah.
But yes, I think this is a good way to set the tone for the night. That was a good opening match. I'm glad we got that set there. We then got the announcement from Tony Schiavone that Mercedes Moné is taking on Sky Blue tonight. Great. We don't have to wait for this. Also means Sky Blue's not winning. We know this. If it's this quick. And then we get a John Moxley promo very quickly, saying it's a dumb idea to take on Rocky Romero tonight. Yep, John Moxley, the king of dumb ideas. I don't know, it was a typical Moxley promo for me. He just kind of rambled for a bit and made a little bit of sense.
Standard Moxley promo. I don't want to say immune. I love John Moxley. I like John Moxley a lot. He's kind of in my top 5 right now. Still. So I say that before I say John Moxley is slowly turning into that drunk at the end of every bar. He's slowly turning into that, I'd have beat you, and I'm going to beat you anyway. I'm going to do it with one arm.
Oh.
Because this title, do you see this? This title that everybody wants?
Professor, you keep poking your shoulder, just if you couldn't.
Sorry, the title's on the other side.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I'm in mirror mode.
I laugh at it and I shouldn't because he's trying to be antsy, he's trying to be fired up.
Yeah.
That's all I can see, and I'm trying not to laugh when I see John Moxley cut some of these promos.
It doesn't help that he's also in the bowels of the arena, and he looks like he's been drinking on the side
there. They are better than the random Blackpool Combat Club standing behind him promos. So all
the BCC members standing in a row.
I'm just going to stand here and watch you. Yeah.
And now it's my turn to say my line, Wheeler Yuta.
But then Wheeler gets cut off. Like, you know what I think? And then they just go to the next thing.
And it's back to Bryan Danielson. Oh, jeez. It's standard Mox promo. We know he's going to be taking on Rocky tonight. We know he's going to be winning. I still think that Takeshita should have won at Double or Nothing. I don't understand why he didn't. And there hasn't been a good reason given to me yet, other than politics between NJPW and DDT.
The world may never know.
They won't. They also will never know why Brian Keith decided to join the freaking learning tree.
Okay.
We have this. It was setting up in the commercial break. They're setting up a freaking high school play tree in the middle of the freaking ring now.
I respect that they're leaning on it.
Do you? Leaning on the tree?
I'm not a fan of any of it.
Really? Because you were the one laughing at it for the last couple of weeks.
I'm laughing at Bill because Bill's awful. Bill's hysterical. Big Bill messing up this promo was hilarious.
Big Bill, and to take it back to what we were talking about earlier on the blooper, Big Bill sounded like the henchman for Don, whatever his name is, in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I will take these cotton balls and I will put them in my pocket. Jericho is the man who has brought me here to go ahead and learn at his feet because I am the redwood and the redwood is part of the branches of the tree. Branches. I said branches.
Tell me about the rabbits. I think that
Filthy Luca.
I think he's so out of place. He's so uncomfortable. I'm dying laughing at Redwood William, whatever they're calling him now as a tree.
Humongous Wilhelm.
But they messed up a few times. Jericho cuts him off, so Big William doesn't get to say the rest of his promo. One, two, Big Bill throws it to an audience member and goes, yeah, that guy knows what I'm talking about. And Chris Jericho goes, yeah, you're right, I do. Like, doesn't even, like, you guys aren't even trying to work together.
No.
So the part of me that respects this is that they're leaning on it. They want us to hate it, and we are. Is it for the right reasons we hate it? Obviously not.
No.
Because there is this pretentious sort of I'm above you meta thing that he's doing, and it does not read to those of us who see through it. And most of the fans are kind of not over it, even though he wants to be this kind of meta heel character.
And he's leaning into everything that's been said about TV time and the vortex and everything else. But there's leaning into it and trying to recapture it. And then there's just like acknowledging it and it making it worse. And this is what it keeps happening.
No, I agree. Making it worse. Like taking that criticism and in a snarky way, using it in a workplace setting, this is passive aggressive. in an entertainment setting, it's aggressive. Like I'm blatantly using the thing at you. I'm not making it a commentary. It's not satirical. There's no subtext. I hate you. I'm going to make fun of you for it. Like, okay, I'm over that.
Wow, Chris Jericho thinking he's better than everyone in the fans and making fun of folks. It's hysterical.
But Big Bill being awkward is the funniest thing about these. It's great.
Branches. We should call them branches.
We should call them branches.
And then, of course, Brian Keith comes out, and I'm sorry, Mikey. Like, I know how much of an advocate you are for him, but I was hoping to the last moment he'd come out and go, no, I'm not joining your group. You put out a bounty. I came out and helped you.
That's what I wanted to say. It's like, why did you join? And I wanted him to say, you paid me.
Yeah.
And it would have been a perfect, like, oh, yeah, you're a bounty hunter. As opposed to flipping it into the, nobody respects you around here, which is so tried and true heel garbage writing. Which is the same because I really like him. And he's been misused for so long.
He is.
And this is the wrong...
the wrong way to do it. You had the perfect setup to get his character over as the bounty hunter.
You absolutely did.
Make him, an APA member like, before. Like, that's basically what he is. So, but no, he's the bad apple that doesn't far fall from the learning tree. Ha 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 ha
ha. However, the best part of this happens after. What happens after?
Oh God. No, you've got to go in. I can't. I can't sit here with it.
You're so mad.
I am.
So the hook signal comes out, and Tony Schiavone stands up, and you can see Tony in the background going, "It's there! He's here!" yelling at how excited he is, which is adorable. Hook comes out, comes to the ring, and local talent gets smashed. This time, not killed. Because does the suplex properly, not on the ramp, and doesn't dome anyone. And then a magic Samoa Joe appears. I don't know how Samoa Joe appeared in the frame. Didn't come from behind, didn't come from the front. Just all of a sudden this boom there, Hawaiian shirt. Like, how did you do that?
Like Maui style, but he's not Maui.
Exactly. Just like, how did you out of the frame?
Apparently both of them are now in cahoots together as dangerous men.
Which, there are better tag team names. Not many. I appreciate that. When Hook and Samoa Joe had the feud at the beginning of the year, one of my matches of the year is them. there was this whole angle on that Taz was pushing that Samoa's known him since he was a kid, used to babysit him. They grew up together. They this and this.
Right.
Samoa just noticed it's a baby. So there's a part of me that's nostalgic and goes, oh, look, they're back.
Oh, nice.
Cute. Could this have been written better? Yeah. Could this have been done?
Could have been period.
Written at all? Yes. Sadly, even Renee couldn't save this because we go backstage a little later and it was still like, what? So
Renee had a weird evening this evening about like nothing that she did wrong. Just
yeah. And I wonder how much of that is Tony Khan being like, hey, make it Renee do this. Hey, tell Renee this. Hey, can Renee go run at that? So the day that they're trying to shoot these, they're like, what am I saying to him? Okay, great.
Yeah, no. Speaking of Renee, though, we move on to her husband, who then has his aforementioned match with Rocky Romero as an eliminatory match to see if Rocky can get a shot at the NJPW title. Rocky Romero is as smooth as silk. Jon Moxley is a brawler extraordinaire, and they work very well together.
They did.
Plus the fact of commentary upping the fact that Rocky has been in NJPW for years, understands what this title means, really got that there, and Moxley was selling the hell out of his injury.
Yeah, and a few times I was worried, like, oh, is he hurt? Is he? Because some of those were not. I'm not saying kayfabe broken, but similar to when Jon Moxley got concussed twice and told the ref to F off. Similar vibes, sort of like,
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, there's a different sense of urgency and pain within you right now.
That actually looked like it shocked you to the core instead of being just a thing you're selling.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting watching Jon Moxley make that choice and do a lot of things with the non-dominant left and how he throws them. It just looks a little more brutal and raw, which is fascinating from a storytelling place.
Well, because they're wild. They're not like measured punches or measured kicks.
Yeah.
Like it's all about like getting as much momentum behind each one that he does now. And Rocky will take it because he works that strong style. So,
and my wife caught the tail end of this where Rocky has him in the armbar and rolls him up some, and she goes, "That's a terrible armbar." And I went, Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, theater. Now watch what he does. And then the whole sequence of him rolling out and going to the catch wrestling. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, you see, sometimes, hang on.
if he had him in a real arm bar, he wouldn't be able to get out that way and be able to do fun stuff.
He would
Plus,
be
these two have to
dead.
make money down the road. They got to actually like be okay.
These are their jobs. Why just break his arm? Well, hang on. Doesn't quite work that way.
No.
I thought this was fun. I really enjoyed watching this, even though you kind of knew what was going to happen. I'm still confused by wearing an eye patch and then taking it off. If you're going to wear an eye patch, wear an eye patch. Wear the eye patch.
Oh, no, but that freaks people out. That's the whole point.
Wear the eye patch. Keep the eye patch on. Come on.
Danielson did that. I don't think Rocky wants to do it.
Wear the eye patch. Even do the see-through thing so you're not totally blind. Like, come on.
Blind. And of course, this also made me think, why didn't Konosuke win? Because that was a better match than this, and he should have won. But we're saving Konosuke, I think, for something at Forbidden Door that should be fun. I have hopes for that.
I wonder.
I
We
know.
can't.
We get our Dangerous Men promo after this. They go out and they talk about the fact that they didn't get any TV
We are
time.
dangerous man in the hallway.
Yep, and one wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Super dangerous. It's like Randy Newman decided he wanted to go wrestle for a while, so... You got a friend in me.
Just
Hook.
making lyrics up. I'm a dangerous man.
We're gonna split the learning tree.
I'm in the hallway. I love LA. Yeah, all the Randy Newman tropes.
Everyone, those are. We also have terrible Randy Newman impressions.
I don't have a Randy Newman. I just kind
I
of
don't off the cuff. But you know what? We sound better than the next person who came out because Dom Fallis made his appearance to present a contract to somebody, and it was left vague on purpose. We knew how this was going to run.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy comes out, rips up the contract, says no. No one says no to Dom Fallis. Who should appear but Chris Statlander and Stokely?
Like, wait, what?
Huh? And Stat is accepting for her best friend on behalf of them as a wild, fully dressed up like a 1990s Undertaker, not the real Undertaker, but an Undertaker who works in a morgue. Trent Beretta appears to beat the living crap out of Orange Cassidy and join the Dom Fallis family, like we thought was going to happen.
Yeah. I sat there thinking that it was a fix from the start. They really wanted Orange Cassidy ripping that thing. They really wanted the image of that, so they got it.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be bait and switch a little earlier. I anticipated it, which was my mistake. I thought it was going to be like, this contract for, and like not say anything, and then Trent comes out or something weird happens. I hate the way this went. I'm glad they're using Trent. I think Trent, I'm going to say this, is kind of a good fit for this Dom Fallis family arc. I think that gives him something to do. I think it's fun.
I worry he's going to be the Wheeler Yuta of the group. We're just sent out to lose.
Really, really hope not. But we're building towards infighting, which we'll talk about soon, and why we're building towards that and what's going to happen.
Blood and guts. We're going to have a blood and guts match.
Blood and guts. Blood and guts. Blood and guts. Oh, we're back at blood and guts. Oh, it's been a year since blood and guts. Yeah, I didn't hate this.
I like the Statlander turn. I like having her be the one set up all this stuff and like really like, because they're setting her up as the heel anyways, but make the full turn on something other than Willow. Like, this is great to use her in that respect, and have Stokely be weird, like crazy meth head Stokely.
I agree. And we talked about a few folks and performers, this promotion and others, where it's sort of like, yeah, you need the heel turn because now you need something to. Now you need something. Sorry, the guy was taller than I thought. Now you need something to push against. You need some sort of not motivation, because that's the BS actor thing.
But a counterweight of some sort.
Yeah,
maybe a foil to these people.
Yes, like there's something that has to activate you, and if it's not going to be hopes and dreams, it's going to be death, murder, guts. Okay, great. Maybe that's what you need in that push. Her promos as a heel, very, very interesting.
Very impassioned.
Very much so.
She's been working toward this turn for about a year, so I'm glad they finally.
I guess so.
Yeah, which has been nice, because I think at some point they didn't know whether it would be Chris or it would be Willow that would turn, because there was the whole thing with the spraying from Julia Hart and all that stuff. But we finally got it there. Willow just can't be a heel at this point. She's got to be a face. So let's make Stat a heel.
Kind of forever. I don't think I would ever believe Willow as a heel.
You say that, and then I said the same thing about Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee's heel run is ridiculously awesome, and I think it could work really well because you have this smiling baby face for so long, and when they finally snap, it's huge.
Maybe. I'd have to see it.
Well, we can get to that at some point, but not right now.
That's fair.
Because we have to watch Mercedes Moné beat Sky Blue right next for the TBS Championship.
Fair.
Sky took care of Mercedes in this match so darn well, but the first thing I have written down is, oh good, it's the same walking wardrobe malfunction gear from Double or Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. One false move gear. I really enjoyed this match. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say this was cleaner than the Mercedes Moné Willow match. Way more.
They
miscues.
Seem to like practice this.
No, nothing. Like, this was smooth the entire time. Which even in we didn't talk about this in the Swerve and Killosaurus match, there were a few moments where one's waiting for the beat or one's waiting for this, or I'm gonna sit here dazed while you climb the turnbuckle. None of that. This was on point, timed out.
No wasted motion. Back and forth.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good give and take between the two of them. Mercedes sold really well for this.
Mm-hmm.
I could have watched this for another 5 minutes and had a lot more fun with it too, because like another Sky Blue, like, power back up and take her out, use that darkness. But the one thing I keep coming back to is Mercedes. I love that you've tried a new finisher. You don't want to go with the old bank statement. You don't want to go with like that backstabber or anything else.
Sure.
But this new thing that you learned in Mexico is so complicated.
Yeah, the
it takes
setup
forever to set up.
Is a trip, because Sky Blue comes off the ropes, kind of sits on her.
Yeah. Well, which could be setting up for a code blue, but still.
Right. Which is kind of what I don't want to say anticipate, but I was like, oh, I think I know where we're going. Oh, I'm trying to watch this here. Hook.
She sets it up like a gory bomb. Does a flip. It's like a spinning flatliner gory bomb. But the problem is that Mercedes is just so tall. Like, it didn't work on Willow during Double or Nothing. It's a slow move. And when you need to set up that much, it takes away from the momentum you build toward a finisher.
Yeah. And
I just don't know if it was a signature move where she uses it as a power move to be like, oh, that's almost a 1-2 ooh. I could see it working really well, but it's not. For me, it just doesn't work as a end of the match.
And I'm not trying to sound like any sort of purist or professional. I'm just a bald dude in a chair. To me, the finishers that seem to really land and resonate with crowds are the ones that can happen at a moment's notice and are a surprise almost.
Yes.
All of a sudden, this, boom, stunner, boom, chokeslam, boom, you accidentally find yourself in the finisher. This one, you will never accidentally find yourself here because it's this thing, that thing, and then jump off me so I can help you.
To piggyback on that, those finishers, the final part of them are that quick movement, that quick drop, that quick whatever it is. But they also have that setup where you can, like, you goozle somebody for the chokeslam. You can hold them there for as long as Mercedes takes to set this up.
Sure.
Because it's theatrics. You can do the people's elbow, which is all theatrics, but then it's an elbow drop. Like the rock bottom, you get him over your shoulder, you look at the crowd. This one, she can't look up, she can't spin around. And the thing is, like, you can see them fighting, but like it's a backwards, piggyback.
Yeah,
it takes
it's
forever.
sort of like I helped myself get into this mess moments. It's like, that could have gone better.
I don't know. She can do better, but she loves this thing now that she's learned down in CMLL, and I understand that she wants to change up her whole thing. But she has been gone so long, she had just started using it in NJPW, and it just didn't work, and I don't know what she's going to do from now on. So
I'm still here.
I know you're still here. The professor's going to step away for a second because he's going to go buy some solar panels, but at the end of this, Mercedes is celebrating. Again, she's got her title. She's where she needs to be. She's beaten Sky Blue. And Steph Vaquer appears. This is the NJPW Strong Women's Champion who has the title that Mercedes couldn't win and Willow had won. I'm so looking forward to Forbidden Door to these two. They have so much unfinished business to happen.
Yeah, I'm much excited. I had to do a moment of, wait, is that who? Wait, this is who you were talking about. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the one that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks now. I got to get better at my New Japan stuff. This is fun. I'm excited to see where this goes.
The stare down was great. I love the intensity. I think this is going to be very fun.
We talked about this last year too. The Dynamites leading into Forbidden Door are all usually really good because you get that infusion of all the MPJ stuff. So I'm again, like, the storytelling of this and where we're going, knowing the history because you all told me. I'm excited.
We're in Forbidden Door season, and you can definitely tell. Same with the next promos. We're standing outside waiting to hear about Orange Cassidy. Renee is really worried, and Stat and Stokely appear again, and Stat gets to say, I have always been the protector. I'm always the big girl who's going to be there to take you down. Well, the protector is on the hunt, and I'm going to hurt people. Yes, this was what I needed. I don't need Stokely speaking for you. That was perfect. That is motivation of, I have been used all my career. It's time for me to take care of me.
Yeah. I think it's relatable. That's relatable. That's great. A heel motive that's still genuine.
Yeah.
Not just evil doom and gloom or revenge, which doesn't take you super far. I'm going on a limb, and I will say this might be the most articulate we've heard Chris Statlander in promos and back behind the stage stuff in a long time, at least since I've been reviewing for the last 2.5 years. And I'm a huge fan of hers, and I love seeing everything she does. So this is great. I think this is the pivot she needed, and it gives you potentially at least 6 months of stuff to do with this whole.
Bring me more Stat.
More of it.
More of it. Less of the next part. We have the EVPs coming out with the entirety of the Elite to address Adam Copeland's injury because, yes, a 50-year-old man flew off the top of a cage and destroyed his ankle.
So why does have Reebok shoes? It make no sense.
So,
it's
let's
funny.
back up. Let's explain.
But
there is reason behind this.
What is reason behind shoes?
You go back 2-3 years. Being the Elite web series, also on Dynamite, EVPs as Young Bucks, big sneakerheads. They always talk about how they buy these really cool sneakers. They wear them to the ring. They make their own sneakers and certain things that have thumbtacks on them, and they're making fun of different sneaker things. But they are big sneakerheads. Finally, big company Reebok. They say, we not selling enough shoes. No one think we cool. Nike cool, Reebok not cool anymore.
So let's go back to 1993?
Yes, because those were the biggest. Those and the LA Lights shoes were our biggest sellers.
If they have LA Knight shoes, I probably buy LA Knight shoes. This is not LA Knight shoes.
No, these are the pumps.
With the pumps, I mean, it's funny. It's a funny moment.
It is.
But anyone under 35 does not care.
And that's the thing, is that they're hoping that their friends that are elder millennials and or Gen Xers will want them to get these things set up there. I mean, there's been a whole renaissance of these anyways, because there was an NBA player that also got a pair made for himself of pumps. So,
I did hear that. That is correct. I don't hate the pumps angle, but the borderline millennial Gen X in me hates the product placement of the thing. There's just a little bit of like, come on.
But it feeds into their character as well, which kind of makes sense.
It does.
They come out, they address the fact that Adam Copeland is an amazing wrestler, but he hurt himself, and so they're stripping him of the title because he's not going to be back for a while. And instead of doing a tournament or anything else of this, they're just going to award it to the most deserving person out there, the scapegoat Jack Perry. And we all cried because this is just them taking over. Nothing could have saved this. They're giving it to Jack Perry. What could happen? What could happen?
And then
a wild Christopher Daniels appears. Wasn't he fired? I was pretty sure he was fired not on like a month ago.
I thought there was a whole angle of him getting fired.
Like, he was the head of HR, so the Bucks fired him,
right?
Like in kayfabe. But he's back. What's he doing back? How is this possible? Oh, that's right. Tony Khan has made him an interim EVP in the stead of Kenny Omega, who got surgery, so he can stop the Bucks.
Hey, look, it's a shark! Quick jump!
Oh no, he didn't jump the shark until. Who could we have back up Christopher Daniels that has done nothing for the last couple of months?
Hang on, I have an idea.
Who? What do you think? Who should we use?
Okay, we need to figure.
We need somebody that will shill for the company, a legend of some sort, and at least 3 people.
But it can't be a trio.
No, not specifically.
Okay, maybe a trio.
What you want to do a trio?
I mean, we can.
Well, who do we have lying around that doesn't have a title and is just kind of not being used?
We don't even use the trios. I mean, we could just pick in a trio.
Who do you want?
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait. Is there somebody that everybody loves, and they say that they love them every time?
That's right. Who's the thing with the scissors and the thing? Like, who's the thing that does the position?
That was Swerve earlier in the night. He had the scissors and he cut off the fake braids.
Yeah, that's right. I'm mistaken. Wait, no. Who's the other scissors and the scissors and the thing?
Oh. No, it's not the Scissor Gang. That was like 6 people, and that didn't work.
There were too many of them. No, there was the one with the scissors and the thing. I thought I could have sworn it was the scissors and a thing.
I have ass in my head. I don't know why.
Are there scissors in your ass?
Not yet, but they're good. The Acclaimed.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody loves the Acclaimed as they come out to back up Christopher Daniels and run off the EVPs.
I like that bit. No one's going to like it, but that was fun for me.
It was fun for me, too. Oh, my God. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do. Daddy Ass has nothing to do. Let's just stick them in with Christopher. Are they now the enforcers of the EVPs that, like, I don't know.
I laughed. I shouldn't have. It was just so random to me. Like,
you didn't laugh at Billy Gunn trying to run down the ramp?
Poor Billy Gunn. It's just like, we're just going to, please don't fall. Please don't bust yourself. Although, I mean, for a 64, 65-year-old guy, like, he still looks phenomenal.
Up close at New Jersey Wrestle Show, the guy looks like he's not aged since the 90s. So
incredible.
It's incredible, just like everything else that went on with this. But we were setting up that basically there is going to be a kind of a tournament, a couple matches coming up to see who's going to be taking on to go for the TNT title over the next couple weeks. So that would be fun to see. And I love the fact that Christopher Daniels is going to be the one running this because he's a great authority figure at this one. He's gone on his retirement tour. He's done. Let him do something fun.
Yeah, I think it's great.
We then get a Swerve promo talking about the Gauntlet battle tonight and the Casino Battle Royal.
I couldn't focus on this because it says the Moody Blues above his head the entire time. It's just, Swerve, I'm hard, I'm tough. Here's this thing that's coming up. Nights and lights satin. Like, I can't do it. Right, my Caesar. Like all the PBS Moody Blues live things.
Taking it to the street.
All the Michael McDonald stuff. Like all these bands behind him, like, okay, it kind of looks cool, but if you turn just a little bit so it's not just the Moody Blues.
Of all the references, no.
Of all the whitest white people to ever white people above. It's like,
Swerve is beating the patriarchy. He already has. But he's kind of giving his perspective. He's like, he doesn't care who it's coming. He's ready for Forbidden Door. He's ready for everything else. He wants to see who's going to be taking him on. So let's have that happen. Then we get a Roosh promo. Roosh is intense and on video, and we want to see more of him. Why isn't he being used?
Well, I was totally anticipating seeing Roosh later on in the evening, and I didn't.
Same.
That wasn't fun.
And, the funny part is he could have. I love that match stip for the end of the night. I always have loved that match, which came up next, because technically, if they do this right at any point, you could stop it anywhere. It doesn't have to be everyone has to be eliminated. It's whenever a pinfall or a submission happens, the match is over. So you could have this run as an hour gauntlet match, and then have it won, or you could have it as a 5-minute match where it's like 3 people came out. Oh look, somebody won.
Yeah,
it fits everywhere.
I absolutely agree. It's a perfect, everything's gone wrong, throw it in.
Which is how we could talk about the entirety of tonight. But to start it off, so Casino Battle Royale starts, and our first 2 participants are Jay White and Pac.
Pac still has scarring on his chest.
Yes.
From a few days ago. Like, how do you... It looks like he was branded.
He was.
Oh my goodness! And then
By
he
the
took
man
chops
that's in the ring.
Took chops to that same spot.
Oh yeah, he's over the top at this point. But these 2 starting off the match are a great way to pick the energy back up as well. You renew this energy and this rivalry, and they just tore each other apart. There was a point where Pac had been knocked back into one of the corners, and he's just like lying on the bottom turnbuckle, like he's dead. Like I fully enjoyed the selling on that point.
As if dead. Do you want to go entrance by entrance or just talk about?
I'm going entrance by entrance. We can talk once they're in there. I have written down here in between.
Go ahead, keep going.
So Pac is there. Then Mystico comes out, the former Sin Cara from WWE.
Yeah.
Sin Cara 1, not 2.
I had to look that up. I was trying to remember. Like, I know who that is.
Yes, and so he comes out doing his usual botchy kind of flipping around and stuff like that. He's got a couple guys who can work with him in the ring, but he still was having issues.
Pac was trying from the beginning. Like, okay, you ready? Hands, and he misses. Okay, that's fine. Nobody noticed. Hit me again. Great. Where are we going? This way? No, this way. Okay, great.
Well, and that was the thing also. Like, I'm not going to spoil who won at the end, but after the ending, when they'd called the match, Mystico pops back up on camera, and the winner's like, no, it's over. Like, stop.
Mystico. Dude still, had a whole, like, I wonder if someone did the shoulder of, like, hey, come, get out of there. This is the close-up on the winner. I will say, well, keep going.
No, you go ahead.
The work that said winner did with said luchas was phenomenal. All of them, but like...
And it's not a thing you see that often with these 2 people because... the winner has worked at so many places, but Japan, I don't think Mexico's been a ton. But up after Mystico was Will Osprey. Will Osprey, international champion Will Osprey, is already in a match to try to get the... I mean, maybe they need to fill this out or something, but why is he in a match for the heavyweight title already?
I was definitely, not giving away the end, I was definitely in a, why? You
Seems
can't...
rushed.
This doesn't help anybody. And if he wins, it doesn't make sense. And if he loses, he looks weak. So they're just going to make him look super strong for when he loses? Well, then how's he going to lose? So I was spinning with 30 seconds.
I'll talk about that afterwards, too, because I had the same kind of like feel of that. Although him versus Jay White, I'd forgotten how many good matches they had in NJPW.
Brr.
Just seeing those 2 in the ring together as they pointed at each other like, oh, yeah, this is happening.
Oh, man.
We then get Shooter Umino from NJPW. I'm like, oh, God, this is the NJPW run right here. Of folks there, and we've seen these 2 take on each other too. Him and Will Osprey getting into it really quickly. Osprey, I don't think left the ring that often after this.
I think this was, you would probably know better than me. It felt like this was just Will Osprey's friends.
Kinda, or at least people who's fought in the last
5 folks that I was like, I've seen highlights with you 2, and I know you and Jay go back, and I know you obviously know each other, and I know you, because you were this. So it was sort of like, hey, you guys want to do greatest hits? Yeah, and just doing amazing things.
This was my match of the night for the evening. It just had to be for every reason.
Yeah,
including the next participant, which I weirdly say, Claudio giving how many big swings in a row?
All of them. I thought he was going to throw up because after the last one, because he did everyone got in, and he just went to the crowd, and the crowd went, okay, so he just did it. That last one, he's leaning on the ropes like,
Ugh.
it's not stopping. And I think someone went to get him. Like someone was like, oh, I got to do something. I got to fill the space. And he was like, no, hang on.
I'm going to puke on you, yeah.
He stops him for a second and then he breathes. I love the ref bit of the ref almost getting spun.
That was so good.
Hysterical.
I kind of want him to get picked up into it, but no, it was just kind of hysterical to have it work.
It's poor dude. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an incredible feat of strength once. Like 5, 6, 7, 8 times is like, oh man,
it's a feat of endurance at that point.
You're killing yourself. And then he was kind of spent. We didn't see him again after that.
A couple times, but not too much. Yeah, because there was the power spot when he went after Cassidy later on. But Leo Rush comes out next. Leo Rush, who I haven't seen since NJPW, probably about a year and a half ago. He's been on the indies everywhere. The Moth, the man of the hour, he was in great form for this. He was exciting to watch.
Watching him, hang on, I want to see the sequence. Yeah, everything he did with I'm saying that right. Shooter, that was really fun to watch. I thought he had a sequence with Will. I don't think so.
No, with Pac, I believe he had a sequence with Pac.
That's what it was. That sequence with Pac, which was like, oh my god.
Well, they're about the same height, so it worked a lot better. But
fair.
Leo Rush is, for as problematic as he's been in his personal life and certain things he seems to have gotten together, I'm hoping he gets another run or shows up at Forbidden Door in a weird, 5-way match. That would be fun for some sort of title, but a lot of fun to see there. We then get the beat-up Orange Cassidy from earlier with the headband and everything else, wading his way down. The sequence with Claudio that went from suplex to held to a reverse suplex to a stalled-out Stun Dog Millionaire, back to a backbreaker, out of that to something else, to a final Stun Dog Millionaire. How did they pull that off?
I don't know how Orange Cassidy pulls off half the stuff Orange Cassidy does. And it's, again, respect to luchadors and some of the things that they do, and then tacticians like Will and New Japan and whatever. Sometimes Orange Cassidy does things that I'm like, wait, how did you... Not that I ever forget, but I think we can take for granted sometimes.
You underestimate him, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just sort of like, that's not how physics works. How did you do that? What still blows my mind is and we saw a few of those, when you're up in a suplex and that knee comes down, like I'm going to knee you from the top.
Yep, but not lose my balance.
Just sometimes how that looks, I'm like, how are you even doing that? But yeah, that was an incredible moment.
We got them there, and we got our final entrant because the match ended before somebody else would come out, which was Hechicero, who had finally been back loud in the country after all those visa issues. Hechicero is there. He's the submission master, the crazy guy, and he tears people apart.
I don't know who that is. I've never seen him before. Immediately one of my favorites. I was like,
Mikey knows him better than I, but he was in that whole thing.
You're a demon. Who are you?
And he works like Pete Dunne, where he breaks people down. Yeah. It's really fun to watch as a luchador.
But for a big guy, he's moving. Yeah. He's moving like he does that weird leg scissor thing to Claudio. He comes in, him and Will tear it up for a little while in there. There were some great moments in here.
I honestly could have watched Will and him go at it for quite a while, but we got clearing of the ring. Pac gets back in with Jay White. For the last two there as they're going at it, Pac gets him set up for the Black Arrow, and a Wild Juice Robinson appears and knocks Pac off the top rope. We saw that happening a mile away, and it's said there's no disqualifications in this. It's a gauntlet match. It's fine. I'm happy Juice is getting more involved. I want to see him versus Pac down the road at some point. I think that'll be a match that'll be very fun to see.
Right.
But it sets up the ending where Osprey is in the ring with Orange Cassidy and pins him. Gets the 3.
In an incredibly elaborate, what the hell was that thing? Because it's not the tiger thing, it's this other thing, and then he flips
the Storm Zero.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, the Storm Driver. It's the Storm Driver.
I'm trying to watch it. Sorry, bad.
Yeah, it's where he gets him in the underhook, flips him on his shoulder, flips him down and over onto his face.
Man,
which is right now a setup move. It's a signature move, but he pulls it off on Orange Cassidy and gets it set there.
Yeah, and then Will says something to Mystico. Mystico's like, "I'm gonna get in the ring." It's like, "No, get out of the ring."
No, stay out. Get down. Osprey has a title shot at the heavyweight title against Swerve at Forbidden Door in less than a month.
But why?
So here's my thought process on this. You want a banger match, and Swerve can work with anybody, but so can Osprey. Osprey is hot right now.
Yeah.
So super hot, but he has a title, and he's in this like mode of collecting titles. I think this becomes a best of. Swerve beats him at Forbidden Door because Will can eat a loss at this point. He's so over everything else. As long as the match is going to be ridiculous with Swerve.
Oh, sure.
You take it then to All In Wembley. Will gets his win back.
Swerve drops the title?
Swerve drops the title, or Will says, I wasn't ready for you at Forbidden Door. I then had my matches where I lost the international title. I was distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I want a match to get back in that. If I beat you in Wembley, then at All Out, the third one, we do the best of 3, and I see if I can get that title from you. And then Swerve has had the title for about 6 months. The problem is that he's so hot and working so well, and I don't want him to lose it. But you want to put it on Osprey.
I don't either. I don't think you're wrong. I think it's some version of that. I think that makes sense. I think
the other thing that can happen is that Swerve wins because Osprey's meddled with by the Don Callis family, loses it to him,
and that's
in a dusty fashion.
That I'd buy. That gives
and then you
us
can see Swerve at All In say, "You didn't get your shot. They messed with this. We'll team up as we go into this. Maybe we do something with a team up in Wembley, or we fight in Wembley for the title again. Who knows?"
I buy that. I think something like that would make sense. I'm excited if this does not change and injuries, life, and whatever does not happen, and it's the two of them. My goodness, that's gonna be remarkable.
You look at his track record. Him versus Omega was as good as advertised, if not more. Him versus Pac and Orange and Zack Sabre Jr. in that 4-way match, the first Forbidden Door, also ridiculous.
Yeah.
Him versus Cassidy by himself. The man has worked some of the best and also gotten the best out of people with half the talent.
Yeah, I have 10 or 11 matches on my watch these again for the end of the year, whatever. I mean, not quite 10, maybe 7 or 8. Watch these for match of the year by the end of the year, and Will's more than half of them.
Yeah.
And only one of them,
surprising.
they're all AEW Ring of Honor. Only one of them's from another promotion, which says something. Will's killing it.
But so is Swerve.
And Swerve got what Swerve was owed and due. And if they do this correctly, there's a part of me that goes, okay, is this just Will and Swerve honorably going at it for a long time? Because that could be cool. I don't hate that. You don't.
I
need
would love a series.
You don't need heel face for that. You just have us and them, and then all the drama around it. That works. We've seen feuds like that. It used to be a big 90s thing off and on. Early 2000s kind of sort of too, but
like Rock Triple H. And
like where it wasn't
Austin Taker for a while.
Austin Taker. You could argue Brett and Shawn kind of had that for, I don't know, those 4 or 5 match stretch until they really pushed Hart the heel, and then they really pushed Shawn the face, even though he wasn't quite ready, if you believe those stories. Any Mankind, anything.
Oh yeah, no. Anything with Mick Foley.
Even though Mick Foley was, you're the heel. Like, no, they love me. Sorry. So
I'm too lovable.
This could be a trip. I mean,
this could be a saving grace for AEW going forward, where they have a guaranteed banger every night it happens.
Yeah,
and bring it on.
All of those pay-per-views now are stacked, so they've set up their summer in a great way. A little bit of a question mark way for sure, because you didn't want Adam Copeland hurt. Obviously, I'm going to say this. This is not popular. I really wanted to see Gangrel run into that casino room.
I think if Adam hadn't hurt himself, I think he might have.
We would have seen the red and everything else, and hear the music, and Gangrel comes out of the thing like, no! Oh, but maybe just me on this island. But
no, I'm with you. That my little nostalgic heart would love it, but that's neither here nor there. We come to the end of AEW. We had an amazing gauntlet match. Professor, I'd love to hear your empanada rating for this Dynamite as we head into Forbidden Door season.
Coming off the hangover of the Double or Nothing, not in a bad way, just in an oh my god content way.
Better than last year, yeah.
Yeah, which we talked about during the review of the weekend. I'm gonna push this a little higher than normal. This is 8.8, 8.9, almost 9 for me.
Wow.
There were a few bits that I went, okay, but passable. There was meddling here for sure, and I thought they responded well to it. I wanted a little more out of this and out of that. But as far as just matches, content, and my intrigue, I did want a little bit more women representation. So that I'm speaking to that for sure, because I think they deserve it and they need it, and they haven't done enough. But it's above an 8.5. It's not a 9, but it's in that wheelhouse somewhere.
This was a packed one. This had a lot of matches that all deserve to be there, but I'm with you on that as well, that there should have been another couple of women's segments. We could have moved stuff to next week and been fine.
Yeah.
Give Moxley a week to get bright so he doesn't fight Rocky until next week. A bunch of stuff. But I'm with you on this one. Because of the women's stuff, I'm knocking it down a bit, but I'm going to go with a 7.5. This was a 7.5, 8 for me.
Sure.
Well paced, well set up. It seemed like there was a thought behind a lot of it. The Jericho stuff still bothers the living crap out of me, and I just want it done with. But yet, it still wasn't terrible. It's been worse. So, I don't know. That's where we sat with that. We had a good time watching it. I'm glad I could speak to you about it and do our weird voices in the middle of it, because that's for us and nobody else.
I hope people enjoy the things that we do.
Oh, yes, and I wear hat, therefore we are intelligent. But thank you to all of you that have sat through this entire thing without Mikey for us. We do really appreciate that. If you enjoyed what you heard here, if there's stuff that you disagree with, please drop a comment down there. We will definitely respond to it, just like we did during the live stream when we were responding in time to it. Also, make sure to tell your friends, share this around, let people know we're here, because we wanted all of us to join this family and all be Biconic together. Because you're Biconic, I'm Biconic, we're all Biconic. And we'll see you in the next video.
Make no sense.
I've tried that with Dutch and it hasn't worked either. Like, I've yelled onion for like an hour, but like that doesn't work. But I don't know what else I could do.
Like you were on medication and just started yelling onion, like that was a thing.
Close enough. I was trying to do Babel in the Netherlands to figure out how to say a phrase, and I just can't wrap my mouth around it.
An onion?
An onion.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.